Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Altria main stage at the 4th Richmond Folk Festival. How are we doing today? This amazing event, of course, presented by Venture Richmond and broadcast live today and all 3 days of the festival by WCVE Public Radio and streaming online at ideastations.org. Yes, and that's important as well. It's so great to see everyone. I'm Tim Timberlake. Had too much fun at the festival yesterday. I apologize in advance for my croak, which you'll have to endure for most of the afternoon. So thank you for that in advance. Thank you for being a part of this amazing event that is a crowning jewel in our city's year. I think every year it's just a wonderful opportunity for people to get together for reasons of camaraderie and music. So thank you all. Thanks to all the volunteers. Thanks for everyone for being a part of this amazing happening that we're about ready to finish up today. Last year at the festival, we were marking the passing of local veteran Richmond musician Gary Gerloff, who was also a large presence on our programming committee for this festival and a genuinely lovable character that we miss badly. This year we sadly face that kind of moment again with the loss of Paige Wilson, also a larger-than-life character, a road-tired musician and band leader, and like Gary, a key player on our programming committee here at the festival. Paige had a big voice and a smile and a ready bear hug to match. He was a gifted songwriter. He took those songs on the road with his band, Reckless Abandon, and he played everywhere from local clubs and dives to places like the Carpenter Center with the Richmond Symphony. But to many of us here, it was Saturday night. It was a rendezvous called the Out of the Blue Radio Review that had us hooked. Yes, sir. Paige did radio, and he did it very well, setting up shop with masterful theater of the mind in the Chickahominy Swamp, where he'd play a well-prepared gumbo of Americana, from folk to rock to blues to bluegrass, Zydeco Cajun, homegrown American mongrel music. Whatever feels good. And he would always leave that light on for roving musicians who would drop by the swamp and gather for some hearty food and some tall tales and some of the most comfortable and compelling live performances that you'll ever hear around the kitchen table with folks like Townes Van Zandt and Delbert McClinton and Tony Rice and countless others over the years who sat around the table and made music. Paige was a huge supporter of local musicians and local music venues that still greatly benefit from his endorsement. Paige Wilson simply made magic on Saturday night here on WCVE Public Radio. He was loud and loving. He was a husband to Jude and a father to Virginia Blue, who he'd of course send off to bed every night at the end of his show. He was a mighty contributor to the musical fabric of our community, and we all miss him, his large laugh and life very much on this Sunday afternoon. I would like to introduce a good friend of ours who wears many hats, but today he importantly is one of Paige's peers and a very hot guitar player, by the way, who shredded it last night on his Strat with Phil Wiggins and a host of others at the volunteer party. He's also the chairman of the Richmond Folk Festival Programming Committee, and his name is Jim Wark. Make him welcome.
Thank you, Tim. Well, I was lucky to count Paige among my friends, and I was very fortunate that he felt the same way. A quick remembrance of when I met Paige. It's basically a musician's story, and although all of those of you who know Paige personally and know him well, this will probably bring a smile to your face, because I moved here to Richmond in 1987, like a day after Christmas, and I didn't know anyone and I didn't know my way around town, and driving around town I 2 days later, on the Saturday after Christmas, I stumbled upon this little funky little place on West Main Street in the city called the Texas-Wisconsin border. See? And it was about 3 o'clock when I walked in, and if you know that scene, you know by 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, that room was loose. And so was this guy playing the guitar. He broke 3 strings by the time I got to the bar, and he just had the biggest voice I ever heard. And of course it was Paige Wilson, and I met him that day. And we had a little talk, and as it turned out, I went on to be very fortunate to appear on his Around the Kitchen Table on the Out of the Blue radio review with several different local bands, actually a whole bunch of them. I don't hold the record for most appearances. That's going to be the guys you're going to hear from him in a minute. But I may hold the record for most different bands that I played with for Paige. And it was always special, but the radio show really embodies what I think I liked and admired most about Paige. He's a scene maker, not a scene watcher. If there wasn't a radio show playing the kind of music he wanted to hear, he didn't complain about it, he made a radio show. And if there wasn't a newspaper writing about the bands he liked, he made a newspaper. And if there wasn't a song that he felt really captured the beauty of this incredible Commonwealth we get to live in, well, he'd just go ahead and write a state song. And that was Paige. He didn't sit around and wait for someone else to do it. He's a very DIY guy. And as a musician, I'm a sideman. I don't make the scene, I join a scene. But Paige is one of those rare people that could actually make a scene, and figuratively and literally. And that's my remembrance of Paige as a musician, was admiring his ability to bring people together for one reason, and that was music.
Beautifully said. I'd like to welcome to the stage Paul Wilson. If you take a look, you might figure that Paul and Paige may have been related. Paul is Paige's brother, and we wanted to make this presentation on behalf of the Richmond Folk Festival and our programming committee and all the folks that were involved in making this such a special event, to remember our brother Paige. The Richmond Folk Festival in memory of Paige Wilson, with gratitude, from the Richmond Folk Festival, October 16th, 2011.
I'd like to thank everybody on behalf of the family. If you knew Brother Paige, you knew it was all about the music. So I'm gonna get out of the way and let these boys talk.
Thank you, Paul. And Virginia Blue and Jude are down in Charleston, and send their love and thoughts up here with us today. Paige Wilson and his band were well named, going on stage each night with a don't hold back, no holds barred attitude called Reckless Abandon. And Paige's bandmates, Jay Gillespie, Billy Lux, Jimmy Skelding, Chris Fuller, Charles Arthur couldn't be here today. He is here in spirit. They are all now appropriately known as Recklessly Abandoned. And we'd like to have them do a number for us here today. Gentlemen?
Here's one that we miss hearing at 8 o'clock on WCVE every Saturday night. It started like this. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Many a mile my soul may wander to fate places yet unseen, but in the end it's just a gamble. At least we chased a few dreams, miss the ones that always loved you, no matter whether right or wrong. breeze is all you have to call home. You know, make a home in Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay. And I will always be Virginia, born free to live out my days. Some of us were meant to ramble, some for staying at home. Hopefully everyone here will find some place they belong. So shed no tears as life is passing. You know the best is yet to come. Find a peace everlasting, a peace of mind all along. Make my home in Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay. And I will always be Virginia, born free to live out my days. Folks sing his last chorus with us. Oh, will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay. And when this earthly ramble is over, know my soul will find peace there always. The green rolling hills of Virginia, you do